Hi, Nathan. This is Pam Huntington, and I'm going to review your course today and give you a little bit of feedback. So I'm starting on your homepage, which looks awesome. You've got the title, we know where we are, we know how to get a hold of you. You give me a little bit about the course, and you have a Start Here module, and I don't have to scroll. So good job. I really like that. I think your students will too. So Start Here, I think I've given you paper feedback for that, your week 1 as well. So I'm going to skip right to week 2. And I noticed that you have your objectives as the first part of the bookend for the week, and you will need to add a counter bookend to end the week. Something that says, congratulations, you've completed these assignments, you're all done, here's what you can look forward to in week 3. So those are called bookends, and they are something required by the OEI rubric. So if you just think about adding that to your modules. All right, so week 2, we start with the objectives, and they look great. You've got what it is, how they're connected, how much they're worth, and when they're due. Beautiful. Don't need much more than that. Chapter 2, slide presentations. Okay, so you got your presentations, which is wonderful, but you need to give some directions. It's not intuitive for students to understand that this is something they have to do. So you need to make sure that you tell them what to do very explicitly, why they're doing it, and any kind of information that they would need to facilitate. I think it's obvious how to do a slideshow, but maybe you could just say click the arrow on the slideshow itself. It's easy to add directions like that. One of the biggest things that you want to do in directions is let them know this is not optional. This is something that's required for a future project, and you might also even include what objective it scaffolds so that they know this is an important thing to review. Again, it's not always intuitive, just like it's not always intuitive in a face-to-face class to read the textbook. Some students don't, they have to be told to do that. Okay, next slide, or next piece, you've got a discussion. So this would be good, especially if the discussion relates to, since this is a group discussion, each of his own conversation, here's the one you have access to, 6 dimensions of health. Okay, so you're telling them how to sign up for a group. Again, if the 6 dimensions of health were what they just reviewed, then maybe you could say something like, in the slideshow you just saw about the 6 dimensions of health, identify. So just overtly make those connections between content and assignment or tasks. Again, let them know why they're doing it, what objective it scaffolds to, and if they need any directions about how to maneuver a discussion board. Some students have never done that before, so I know that I always say hit the reply button or the reply arrow at the bottom, because when I first started this, it wasn't obvious to me. Anyway, you do have parameters, which is good, and they understand that they have to do both the initial post and the post to their peers. So that's really good. We're going to move on. Mental health journal. Journals are kind of an interesting animal in Canvas. I have seen them done with assignments, and you can make that a weekly journal, a weekly assignment. You can add those to your modules. You can label, I think you did, Mental Health Journal 1, so I think you've kind of nailed that. You've told them, let's see, I'm looking to see if you told them how to engage in the journal. Minimum of 200 words. So you do want them to do a Word doc and PDF, not write in the text box. So you're going to need to make that very explicit in your directions. So maybe minimum 200 words using a Word doc that you will upload. Please do not write in the text box or whatever you want to say to them. But again, you want to tell them what to do, how to do it, and why they're doing it. Good, you got a rubric. Awesome. Flipgrid, I love it when you do non-traditional assignments. It makes it kind of fun. It also makes the course more community-oriented, especially with Flipgrids if they use video. So, okay, let's see. You might need to tell them how to use a Flipgrid. It's not always, again, intuitive. So just a few brief directions. If you told them how to do it in a previous module, like module 1, just create a link that to that page that says, here's how to do a Flipgrid, just so they can be reminded, so they don't have to search for the directions. Again, I like that you're doing a Flipgrid. You have a good conversation going with it, just maybe some directions of how to do it. Again, you have a rubric. I like it when rubrics are attached to everything. Makes it better for students. Okay, this is another discussion. Looks good. Again, they've got a reply to at least 2 posts after they've done their original post. Again, tie it to the content. Was this content presented somewhere? Or is it just coming out of their head? Is the content something related to their own personal experience? Either way, just make that obvious so they know where the content for this particular discussion is related. I don't see a rubric attached to this one, but maybe it's up here. Yep, you got it. Good. All right. Good job. Okay, you've got a quiz for week 2. Be sure that you give instructions in your quiz. Maybe you're going to tell them that it's unlimited, they have all the time they want, and then again, make a relationship back to the content that the quiz is about. In this particular quiz, it just says quiz 2. I have no idea what you're testing me on or why you're testing me. And this could have just been the assignment that you made so that I could see you made a quiz. But if it's for students, absolutely put directions and be explicit about what they're being quizzed on. And then finally, we got to our week 3. So again, just before you get to week 3, have a bookend to your objectives that says, congratulations, you've completed blah, 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 week 2's over, and here's what's coming in week 3. And then you'll be complete. Hopefully this was helpful, and if you want to chat more, I'll be available during my office hour on Thursday, or we could schedule a Zoom at your convenience to chat. But overall, things look really good. All right then.